care debate go from here?
Let's talk about it with Republican Representative Michael Burgess of Texas. Welcome, Representative.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, what do you suspect will really happen here? We know that there's opposition, obviously, from Republicans, but also from Democrats as well. But there are others who say that this is an opportunity for the Senate to make a weak bill a lot better and fix it.
Yeah, except, I mean, I'm relatively new. I've only been here 7 years. If you're counting on the Senate, is one of the things I've learned. If you're counting on the Senate to save your neck, you may already be lost. So I'm like some of your other speakers earlier on. I don't put a lot of faith in what the Democratic leadership in the Senate is going to do, other than the fact that they just haven't shown a lot of courage to date. We gave them a terrible cap and trade bill over the summer, and they've not done a thing with it. I've got to believe that this bill receives similar handling. Look, you've got all these Democratic representatives who voted against their district when they voted for this bill at midnight Saturday night. They're going home to their Veterans Day events in their districts. I've got to believe that there's going to be such significant pushback when they get home to their districts that once again, people take notice of the fact that no one likes what we've done. We got a 22% approval rating. Does anyone really believe that we can write a 2,000-page bill that affects health care in this country, not just today, but for the next 2 generations, and we've done a good job with it? That's just pure fantasy. No one believes that.
Well, and Congressman, the fact is there are a few things that need to be fixed. Pricing, insuring the uninsured and everything. This thing, and I've been through parts of it, has all kinds of minutia, little micromanagement details, like how doctors should affect the pricing of post-acute care procedures. I mean, talk about micromanagement from a bureaucracy. This is it.
And it's all punitive. It's all punitive. There's nothing that's forward-looking and says, hey, look, here's what we know works in that situation, and we'd like you to consider it. We do crazy stuff like saying, well, we're just going to pay for 1 hospitalization every 30 days, and good luck with that.
Okay, so now what? I mean, what is your better idea, Representative? Because we're trying to sort of spin this forward and figure out where the real solutions lie versus just tearing down something that's just been passed by the House.
Well, and here's the difficulty, because they did pass this bill, and so now it becomes much more difficult on the House side to actually talk about things that are actually solutions. What I heard over the month of August, and I did town halls all up and down my district. I went to other parts of the country and worked with other representatives and heard from Americans all over the place. The bills that we were considering, the bill that we had in committee, which was essentially this bill before its present form, no one likes it. No one believes that, you know, the president says that we're going to pass this bill and we won't add 1 dime to the deficit. Again, it's preposterous on its face, and no one believes that. And if you don't believe that, what else is in there that we're not telling you about? But people do think that folks who have been priced out of the insurance market, people who have pre-existing conditions and would like to be back in a condition of insurance and are not let back in, that these are things we do need to fix. And we're not talking about 46 million people. We're talking about perhaps 8 to 10 million people who fall into that category of the hardcore uninsured who would like some help and can't get it. We could fix that. That's insurance reform.
We're real tight on time and we got to go. But just if there were 2 or 3 things that needed to be fixed, how do you do it in health care?
Well, you don't do it with a mandate, because that's unconstitutional. So you create programs that people want. And if we're looking at whether it be risk pools or reinsurance at the state level, we could do that and cover people with pre-existing conditions. In fact, there's existing law. If we just fund it, we would go a long way towards accomplishing that goal. And as far as affordability and portability, we could streamline the COBRA process so people aren't priced out of that market as well, and can carry an insurance policy with them when they lose their job.
Representative Burgess, great to have you. Thank you very much. Fair and balanced. Let's get a Democrat's take on the health care action.
Democratic strategist Julie Pescatelli.